Ripples of Reform, the Plastic-Free Pledge. Inspiring fight towards a greener tomorrow. Standing amidst Moscow's ancient domes, Alexei Ivanov, a respected political figure, faced a stark truth that echoed deep within him: the growing threat of plastic pollution to ocean life. As a pragmatic man deeply connected to Russia's natural heritage, he knew it was time for irrevocable action. Each time Alexei reached for his canvas bag, it was a small reminder of the big change he was championing. Alexei's journey towards a life free of plastic began in the sanctuary of his own home. By replacing disposables with sustainable alternatives, he sparked moments of curiosity and admiration among his loved ones. As he sipped his morning coffee from a ceramic mug, Alexei pondered the simple power of these everyday choices. His morning to-go no longer meant a disposable coffee cup in hand. His stroll to the market became an invitation to his neighbors, with bright, sturdy canvas bags dangling from his hands, an infectious ripple that gained momentum and number. But Alexei knew, from personal transition, that the journey of change was long and arduous. Alexei knew his changes were just the beginning of a much larger battle. With the leadership of his political position, Alexei launched a citywide movement to counter the tidal wave of plastic waste. Pledge for the Planet was an audacious campaign that met with skepticism from many directions and dogged encouragement. For those who doubted, there was Alexei's unwavering conviction. He began lobbying for policy changes that would discourage people from using single-use plastics. His ideas included imposing a tax on plastic bags, offering incentives for businesses with sustainable practices, and making significant investments in recycling infrastructure. These proposals weren't just a way to change the law for Alexei, they were a step toward ensuring the future for the next generation. Alexei's passion started to ignite a similar fire in the hearts of Moscow's residents as he took his unique style to the very heart of the Russian capital. He saw neighbors chatting over reusable shopping bags and local schools starting their recycling initiatives. It was a wave of change, growing stronger every day. He held town hall meetings and invited people from all walks of life to come and voice their concerns or offer their ideas. He also worked with some of the local environmental groups to arrange for volunteer days to clean garbage from the well-trodden banks of the Moskva River. There was always fun, too, a chance to play some music and share a drink, a laugh, and a few stories while getting your hands dirty. Alexei's biggest fight, however, was yet to come. Understanding their concerns, Alexei approached the business leaders not as adversaries but as partners in a shared mission for a better future. He'd come up with a plan to ban single-use plastics from the aisles of the biggest supermarkets and retail chains. The businesses wielded enormous power in Russia and didn't take kindly to being told that they needed to change. However, Alexei wasn't deterred and took to the road to get his point across. He traveled throughout the country to meet business leaders and help them understand that adopting sustainable practices wasn't just good for the planet, it was good for their bottom line. As the ban took effect, the initial resistance gave way to an unexpected and heartening metamorphosis. Supermarket chains began offering discounts to customers who brought their reusable bags. Local artisans saw a surge in demand for their traditionally handwoven fabric and wicker bags, and almost overnight, city waste management facilities reported an enormous drop in plastic pollution. The once lit streets of Moscow began to clear, revealing the city's true beauty beneath. Parks and public spaces became cleaner, and wildlife slowly started to return to urban areas. But Alexei's work was not just transforming the environmental landscape of Moscow. Schools began to educate students on sustainable living and ecology, cafes and restaurants proudly declared themselves to be plastic-free, young people quickly became the most zealous defenders of the campaign. The true turning point for Alexei came on a crisp autumn morning when he decided to walk the banks of the river Moskva, which only a few years earlier were a seemingly hopeless cacophony of plastic pollution, all of which had somehow become slowly woven into the ever-decaying Soviet infrastructure of the city. It was there, seeing a group of children playing as their laughter mingled with that of the birds upon banks that had been restored to a natural state, that Alexei finally felt for certain that the campaign had begun as a crusade for progressivism far removed from the traditional ranks of Soviet-era political activism and had become something deeper still. In this journey, Alexei realized that every single person played a hero's role, rediscovering a connection to the earth that was both ancient and essential. Alexei, set in the heart of Russia, reverberated far beyond its borders, becoming a shining emblem of hope and proof of what can be accomplished when a community gathers for a cause greater than themselves. The ripple unfolded in the fascinating sprawl of Moscow, where the past and present live in lockstep. Alexei Ivanov's quest to segregate the city from plastic was more than a campaign. It was a movement that invigorated the city and its citizens, reminding them that each footprint they leave, no matter how slight, moves us closer to greener pastures. In this journey, we're all the protagonists, whether a young child yanking a bottle from a bush or a politician with a sweeping mandate. Alexei's quest for a plastic-free future is more than a story, it is a summons, a clarion call, and the lasting legacy of a man who knew and confirmed that the measure of a society's journey lies in how it holds and honors its home. And so, turning the tide isn't just a recounting of Alexei's efforts. It's a message to all of us: we each have the power to make a difference, to protect and cherish the world we call home. Revelations. What is it? The impact of individual and collective actions against environmental issues, particularly plastic pollution, emphasizes that change starts with personal choices and can grow into larger community movements, creating significant environmental improvements. Why is it important? Addressing plastic pollution is crucial for the health of our planet, especially the oceans. Reducing plastic waste not only protects wildlife and ecosystems but also promotes a sustainable future for upcoming generations. How to get started? Begin with small, personal steps, like using reusable bags, bottles, and containers. Advocate for change in your community by participating in or organizing local environmental initiatives. Support policies and businesses that prioritize sustainability. The point. Every action against plastic pollution weaves a thread into the tapestry of a cleaner, healthier planet. The end.